Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, continuing our complete beginner's guide here in 2022 with our Minotaur Berserker, who is 23rd level, an Axe Maniac. That is the title you get when you max out the Axe skill, like we've done here. And we're about to go into the Realm of Zot. We've got 3 runes. We're looking for that orb. Let's start working on clearing the Realm of Zot and talk to you about what enemies you'll find in here. So I'm just pushing O to auto-explore, and here's a tentacled monstrosity. That is a super common enemy that you'll find here. Mostly it's going to be draconians, tentacled monstrosities, storm dragons, and sometimes orbs of fire. And we'll talk about those when we get to them. Alright. And here's a transporter that we can go in if we want to fight ghost moths, storm dragons, and go for that artifact helmet. We can't wear it. Oh, it's a mask of the dragon. Actually, it's interesting. Is that a hat? It actually looks really, really good, but I'm not sure if I can wear it, if it counts as a hat or if it counts as a helmet. Minotaur can't wear a hat or a helmet, you know, so that would be a concern. I'm going to step out of this poison. And it didn't really matter because the Draconians have a breath weapon, a breath attack, you know, being dragons and all. And so that's what's blasting me. This enemy right here, this shifter, is particularly annoying because he can blast you and teleport you, but also I believe if you try to teleport, it's either him or it's a different. I'll investigate. It might be the black one. There's another Draconian that can hit you so hard, not so hard, but it just hits you with this ability that takes away your teleport buff, like, and so you don't get to teleport. It's just it can come up at the worst possible time where you think you're going to be able to teleport out because you're in danger, and he cancels your teleport by canceling the magic effects on you. Terrifying. Here's another enemy that you'll commonly see within the dungeon, which is Moths of Wrath. So Moths of Wrath by themselves, like we've seen them before, they're not hard, but they berserk enemies around them, which makes them diabolical. Like a berserked gold dragon is completely terrifying. I'm going to step back into this hallway here. I'm going to use Trog's Hand, and we're just going to fight one-on-one against all these Draconians. Let me look at this guy. So he has blink range, blink away, blink allies, blink other, and dimensional anchor. Yeah, this is what it would. This is the ability. So it's not the black Draconian. It is the purple Draconian. It's this ability right here, Dimension Anchor, which blocks any translocations attempted by the target. So, like, if you've got teleport on you, they just anchor you so you can't leave. It's really, really nasty. And getting blinked around when you don't want also is nasty, or having enemies get blinked around is unideal. There's a Moth of Wrath berserking stuff, and now this storm dragon is berserk. So this is actually, now this guy's berserk. So we have this is what makes this area hard. We kind of have the perfect storm where there is a purple draconian who is teleporting things around, and then there is a Moth of Wrath. So it's like blinking in berserked enemies. They're like working together. So I have to go berserk myself. I need to kill this storm dragon immediately and kill this guy. And this is just such an unfortunate situation because I need to get to the Moth of Wrath and kill it. And I did, but it took me a lot. And look at this. I got taken to about half health right there. And there's still a Draconian. All right, there we go. We got him. So that was a very, very dangerous situation. Berserk saved us, but it could have gone badly because that's the power. You saw it right there of the Moth of Wrath. If you can't reach it and it's just making stuff go berserk, it is very, very scary. Berserked enemies stronger, more health, faster, hit harder, just like you. And having something like a dragon get berserk is really, really scary. Even just draconians themselves, is scary. We did get a weapon from Trog somewhere in here. I think it might have been that anti-magic trident, perhaps. Nothing that jumps off the page at me. But the real thing that we care about is that we didn't die. And we're just going to go around. You did see two. I'm going to move up here, actually. He's got a reach weapon. It doesn't matter if I get good positioning. In that vault, there were moths, ghost moths. Those are enemies that you'll find in the spider's nest, and they're here too. They're really, really hard because if you can't see invisible, it's like one of the worst things. Oh God. That you can come across. Okay, so the ghost moth can drain your stats and do all kinds of nasty things to you. They're really, really brutal. This guy is poisoned, but you saw what just happened. We got hit by a crystal spear from this dude for 3 exclamation points, and we're at 98 hit points. But we did bounce back his poison arrow. That's why he's poisoned. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to go berserk, actually. I got to kill this guy right away. I'm just too low on health to not take care of myself. And this also helped this guy. So this guy had this artifact Lajtang, which is a polearm, kind of a quarterstaff nightmare thing. And it's got anti-magic, draining, resist electricity, int, and dex. So it's like this really, really powerful weapon. That also helped the guy out. It's a polearm with blades at both ends. It's like... It's kind of like Darth Maul style, weapons on each side. And it is a very, very dangerous weapon if you're good with polearms. Base damage 16, just nasty. Ignore it. Always ignore it. I don't want that. Alright, let's just clean these dudes out. Rest. And we're going to move around. And I'm just exploring. So we did get a Scroll of Fear. Very good. But this is going to be our life for the rest of the game. Which is that we have to be on high alert. Even though we're extremely strong, this is when you can slip up. Is in these last portions, because you feel strong and your inclination is to overestimate your abilities and sleep on the foes that are here. But I gotta tell you, don't do it. Now, I could go into this transporter and try to get that artifact helmet, but look what's in here. There's dragons galore and Maws of Wrath. So there's no safe spot for me. Even if I went berserk, I would lose it. And it's just too dangerous. Like, I don't want to fight that many dragons. It's too risky. There's no reason to push it. If you try to push it at this stage in the game, you're over. And what? For a helmet that I may or may not be able to wear? I don't think so. Let's instead focus on Zot 2. Okay, Draconian, sure. And because each Draconian, they all do different elements or different types of things, this is another reason why you want all of your resists to be on point as much as possible and diversified, because, I just got blasted by a bunch of negative energy. I'm drained 4 hit points from those 2 shadow dragons. He made me go berserk right there. So that's another thing that the Moth of Wrath can do that's annoying. Is berserk you. And while you're fearsome when berserked, I never want to go berserk when I'm not ready for it, because you can just get caught out of position and obliterated. Oh dear. Alright, so there's a cursed toe. So I immediately need to regenerate and kill this guy. Okay, so you see my health? It's bad. A cursed toe is a quite terrifying foe that can torment us and do other disgusting effects. We've got to get out of here. I'm too low on health to deal with this right now. I am going to just teleport and hope that we get a good spot. I'm going to move over here. Let me show you what the Cursed Toe can do. So it can Symbol of Torment you and summon mushrooms. Symbol of Torment cuts health in half, right? And it's never directly lethal, but it summons things, and if you keep cutting my hit points in half, they're going to go down, and somebody can just one-shot us. So I just don't want to fight this guy right now. I'm going to just keep walking away from it until my teleport kicks in. It just racked us with pain to torment us. I'm going to go around the corner. And you'll notice I haven't teleported yet. It's because of this. We're near the orb, and it makes teleportation take longer. So while you're in the realm of Zot, you get this orb debuff, which passage of Galubria portals will be less accurate, and teleportation takes longer. So you just have to be aware of that. And of course, we teleported into a bad spot with that we haven't cleared out, but we should be okay here. I'm going to go ahead and quaff heal wounds and just kind of see how this goes. We're surrounded and we're in poison, but we resist poison, so we should be okay, and we are. But, I mean, you just have to be on your guard here. There's a bunch of dragons, so this is a bunch of dragons without a good spot to really fight them. I'm going to use Trog's Hand and just wait for this gold dragon. We kill it, and luckily we got these guys mostly one-on-one. The acid dragon is coming. There's another gold dragon, apparently. One thing oh god, just a pit full of dragons, sure. We're going to try to fight them as much as we can one-on-one. But you see, fire dragon, storm dragon, you know, all elements are assailing us, which is why it's vital for us to be diversified like this in terms of our resist. Check this out. Look at our skills. One thing you can say, we're about to hit level 24, about Zot. When you fight that many dragons, okay, you're getting a lot of experience. Luckily, that Moth of Wrath was not there. Here's a War Axe of the Fetumion. It's red because it's of pain. It's not good for us, but these dragons had a little bit of a treasure portal. Some money and stuff. We just got marked. We got agility leveling up, which is not ideal. I'm going to kill these moths. Trog gave us a weapon. It's a +1 War Axe of Flaming. Meh. Because we've been marked, we're just going to kind of stand up here and let it happen. And if anybody wants to come fight us, they can fight us in this corridor. The mark is gone, so, you know, not too worried about it. We can fly over that lava to get that gold if we really want it, but at this point, I don't need it. Here's a Cursed Toe. Okay, so what you do against a Cursed Toe is you move out of the way, and you cut down its line of sight. I'm going to wait until it gets into sight. I'm going to move, and you see it blocks you with these mushrooms, which can be annoying, but by itself, a Cursed Toe we can handle. You just have to be prepared for it to, like, do half your health in one hit, you know, and completely reevaluate your battle plan because you've been wrecked. So there's some very nasty enemies, and you start to get a taste for why Torment is one of the most frightening abilities in the game. All right. For this character, tentacled monstrosities aren't really too bad. For caster types, they can be a little bit scarier. Oh, a Scroll of Enchant Armor. We definitely want that, so let's drop something. I'm going to drop this Ring of Protection from Cold and pick this up, and we're going to use Enchant Armor. And I'm actually going to enchant my shield. I'm going to keep doing that because you saw that Crystal Spear. Any kind of spell that I can bounce back or block with my shield, I want to be able to do, because the amount of damage that we can get annihilated for. You can even block Orbs of Destruction, which is fantastic. All right, and we're ready to go. I love this staircase. It's got 4 blocks next to it. Let's go down to Zot 3, Storm Dragon time, take it down. Now, not that we couldn't on Zot 1, but more likely the deeper we go, we could start seeing orbs of fire, so we want to, you know, just be ready for that. And honestly, to be ready for that, I'm going to go into my inventory, and I'm going to quiver my silver javelins instead of my stones, so that if I see something like an orb of fire, I can start to throw javelins at it. Here comes a Moth of Wrath, no problem. Here's a Ghost Moth. We killed it before it did anything. Ghost Moth also scary for us because we have one intelligent. Now, I just threw a javelin right there. Do you see what I just did? I threw a silver javelin at this golden dragon, and we hit it for 3 exclamation points, and it basically did like 2/3 of its health. And we pick it back up. Javelins, just like stones, they have a chance of mulching when you use it, meaning like they are unrecoverable, but most of the time they will be there when you want them back. But over time, through attrition, you will wear out a stack if you use them too much, which is why I just save them for this part of the game. I just save them specifically for this. This is a Death Cob, and a Death Cob is actually another really annoying enemy. Because what he starts to do is slows you down if he hits you, and being slow, you see right now he slowed us down massively, is awful. You're just worse in combat. You can't run away, and so it's like all of these little things add up. You get slowed, you know, a Moth of Wrath berserks another enemy, and then, you know, what you thought was okay spirals out of control. Then a Cursed Toe blasts off half your health, and a situation that was manageable turns to be a nightmare. Okay, we need to move out of the way of this. They're getting berserked, so what we want to do is try to find the most optimal place to fight these enemies, and it's right down here. This guy's going to slow us when he hits us, but that's okay. I'm going to stand right here. But of course, dragons push you back. Hilarious. And we'll just go here. I'm going to just use Trog's Hand and get some of my health back. And, okay. Now, here's something we can do. I can throw my javelin like this and target the gold dragon. You'll notice it hits everything through its path. This is why javelins are insane, because they pierce. So I just hit everything there. Let's hit the Cursed Toe. Let's hit that Cursed Toe. And we killed it. Oh, no, we didn't. Okay, it moved over there. Good lord. Now we got it. Okay, so we're down to 5 javelins, but you see there's a bunch of javelins waiting for us. Oh, God. We're still getting hit, like, indescribably hard by all of this garbage. I'm going to regenerate again. I'm going to fight this guy, and hopefully there's no more enemies so we can rest. There's a Moth of Wrath. That's okay. All right, we're back. And let's see how many javelins we can recover. All right, we got them all back. Perfect. They reduced the mulching rate at one point of items a lot, and I don't know if in the next version when they've made ammo unlimited, if they reduce it even further, or, you know, if it's the same thing. But here comes a whole bunch of Draconians, so I'm going to fight them in a way that's more advantageous to me, which is like this. Fine, like one at a time or whatever. I'm corroded, so I'm hitting for less. I had to move up because that guy had a reach weapon. This is a Cloak of Willpower, which I'm actually going to equip. The reason being, my cloak is a Cloak of Poison Resistance, and I already have Poison Resistance, but I want to get more will save. I will lose 1 armor class temporarily, but that's a small trade-off for having a higher will save. There's a lot of things that do effects that target your will, and we just don't want that to happen. All right. So there is Zot 3, and let's go down to Zot 4, but not through that red door. Good lord. Not through the escape hatch. We need to come back. All right, here comes a Quicksilver Dragon. And let's just rampage him and kill the Death Cob. Rest up. I'll pull this guy back. I guarantee he's... Well, he didn't see me, did he? Now he did. Hit him with a javelin. Step back. And we'll fight him. He's dead. Potion of Haste is terrific. We're going to spam those when we're running out with the orb if we're lucky enough to get to it. And here comes a tentacled monstrosity. Okay. And it's just a red draconian. I'm just going to move so he sees me, but pull him back here around the corner. Again, draconians can wander in packs, as you've seen, so we really, really want to be careful to just fight them in as small of groups as possible. Here's a Moth of Wrath. Just take it out before it berserks somebody. And there's a artifact halberd over there. And here comes a draconian. Take it down. Is there anything on my shopping list that I really want? I mean, the manual of dodging isn't a bad idea, but I'm not really... At this point, it's okay. Okay, let's just fight all these guys. We got corroded by our dude, unfortunately. This guy's blinking away, being just annoying. Let me kill the moth. Let me kill him. They don't like it. Nobody likes the javelins. You can't blame them. Okay. Alright. Sure, Quicksilver Dragon. Oh. Bigger Storm Dragon. And so it's just a lot of dragons. A lot of dragon people, a lot of dragons. Okay, we're like working into the interior of this section of it. And we're done exploring. So that's Zot 4. So check this out. How deep is Zot, you ask? It's 5 levels. And the 5th level is the biggest doozy of them all. One thing you can do it when you're at this point in the game, if you're curious, if you want to, okay, is push Control F and then search for anything that you might have missed. And here's what I mean by that. Axe. Like, is there a better axe in the game than the axe I'm using? Did I miss an axe somewhere? And you can see, like, oh, here's this, like, artifact battle axe. Or, you know, these other strong weapons. Do I want one of these? Okay? Also, what about all the cloaks that the Draconians were dropping? Like, did I miss a really, really good cloak somewhere? I have the Cloak of Willpower... And honestly, that's the best one that we can get. What about enchant armor? Nope, nothing. Okay, so now I've checked everything, and it just isn't available. It's not there for us, so we just don't worry about it. And we find a place to go down for Vaults 5. But at this point in the game, you've seen so many items, it's useful to just search and see, like, is there a slot that you're weak in? And did I see something better and I just ignored it accidentally, right? Right now, I think we're fine. But it's always worthwhile. And we're going to go down. Okay, so let's talk about Zot 5. We haven't seen an Orb of Fire yet, knock on wood, but we will. Right now, what we're trying to do is just map out the exterior section of Zot 5. I'm going to use my regeneration. Trog's giving us a weapon. And let me fight all these guys with my axe. Clear them out. He gave us an anti-magic hand axe. How kind. Oh, okay, Orb Guardians. Well, we're finding a bunch of Orb Guardians, which is interesting. And there's an Ancient Lich. Yep. We're seeing hard enemies. These are the kind of dudes that you're going to see in this part of the dungeon. Okay, we take him down, and it's Orb of Fire. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Orb of Fire, arguably the hardest enemy in the game. I'm going to push X and V and show you why. It has this ability called Malmutate, which will permanently mutate you, probably negatively, like we saw before with the Shining Eye. But worse. But perhaps more terrifyingly about an Orb of Fire is that it has 3 dice 40 damage on a bolt of fire or 3 dice 43 damage on a fireball. So if you don't have fire resistance, you could be taking over 100 damage in one shot. So we do have fire damage, so we'll take half of that. But is that enough? I'm going to drink a potion of resist. Or I'm going to push escape, quaff, potion of resist. And then I'm going to go berserk. And I'm going to just fight this guy as quickly as possible. Okay, so he exploded us with a fireball. I'm trying to hit him again. And we're not actually killing him. We finally killed him. But he hit us a bunch. You see our health, it's low. We luckily did not get mutated, okay? And I'm going to charge this guy and kill him. But we lost our mutation, or our berserk, and so we're exhausted. So we need to run away. We need to go up the stairs. And we took down one of the Orbs of Fire. You don't know how many you're going to see, but whenever you see him, you need to treat him with respect. Now, luckily, that one, it kind of was a blessing that we saw it immediately because it was right there, and it couldn't hit us from far away, and we could just get up there and melee it. Now, that was a killer clown, by the way, and killer clowns are really scary, and it has a +9 club, so sometimes they have really big weapons, and they throw pies at you, which can do, like, nothing, or can be game-ending. So you got to be very, very careful with these killer clowns. All right. And I'm looking around to particularly locate one section of the map, which I'll explain in a moment, once we find it. Okay, there it is. You see this stone wall up here? That rock wall? That's indicating to us the section of the map where the orb lies. All right, so we're just going to kind of work our way toward it. I'll open this door and clear this out. I'm just clearing out. What you want to do at this point is just do the preamble to the difficult part of the game and clear out everything before you go north from that corridor. I'll show you. We're going to wrap around here, and we're just looking for anything that's lingering out here. Oh, killer clown. All right, so he blinked away. He's right here, and I'll throw a javelin at him, and he's dead. But you want to kill those as quickly as possible. We did lose a javelin permanently right there, by the way. But 10 is enough. All right, there's a Zot trap. Don't fight near that. But there's a staircase up, and here's Orb Guardians. So Orb Guardians are infinitely spawning enemies on this level, okay? And they aren't horrible by themselves, but if they get berserked, I've had incredibly strong characters get killed by them. And even not berserked, they do a lot of damage. You can see, like, they hit me really hard. So we don't want to be fighting a bunch of them, all right? We're just trying to get enough of this cleared out to find this. We found it. Let me go down here and clear this out. I'm just revealing all of the map down here until we get to this portion where you see the rock wall open up and you see all of the Orb Guardians come out, okay? This is the entrance to the section of the game where the orb is contained. And I'm going to actually move out here for a moment and rest on a floor up before I start doing more, because all hands need to be on deck. This is the make or break moment, the very, very difficult part of clearing out what we call the lungs on Zot 5. Okay, so I guess we're prepared enough. Let's go. So we'll see how this is laid out, but generally what happens in Zot, oh boy, we got another mainstay enemy, is that there exists a sub-portion or almost an entryway or vestibule before you get into the fortified area of Zot's realm on level 5 that is blocked off by these rock walls that you cannot dig through or get through. And this represents the strong portion of the vault. And if we're looking over here at the right of the screen, at the minimap, there is a left section and a right section filled with enemies that lead into a central chamber right here above this entry room that can only be reached by going either through the left side or the right side where the orb of Zot resides. And these portions on the left and the right are called the lungs because they kind of look like lungs, I suppose. And what you're trying to do is pick one side or the other usually and lure enemies out from whichever side you choose so that you have a clear path, or as clear as possible of a path as you can get, to walk in, nab the orb, and run for your life and escape back to Dungeon 1 to try to win. Now, one of the very common enemies that you'll find in Zot 5 are these electric golems. Electric golems hit for a ton of damage. 3 dice 20 with their lightning bolt, which can bounce around and hit you again, and they can blink, so they're quite nimble. They are one of the reasons you really, really need resist electric, and luckily we have it. So I'm going to throw a javelin at this guy, and I'm going to move then, and he did zap me up here so that he can't see me. I'm just pushing S to wait until he's here, and we'll fight him, and I'm just going to rest. And this is what kind of the wash, rinse, repeat of what's going on here. Now, pay attention. Not only is there a Zot trap right here, but there's also an alarm trap, which if an enemy walks on that, will, you know, trigger a bunch of noise to make all enemies aware of our approach. And actually, as bad as that might sound, this is why you clear out the bottom section of the realm first, so you are pretty confident that there's no enemies back here. And then if you do get the alarm, then it's only enemies that are peeling out from the lungs that will come fight you. And that's actually kind of what you want. You want to lure them out so that you can fight them on your terms out here in a more dispersed crowd, because if you try to walk into the lungs with them filled with enemies, you'll get overwhelmed so quickly, because we're talking about orbs of fire, ancient liches, electric golems, orb guardians, killer clowns, death cobs, all manner of, you know, difficult thing back here. And so what we want to do is pick a side. Now, I'm going to go to this left side and just see what's going on over here and poke my head in. We see a Zot trap, and there'll be all these, like, you know, bizarre net traps that are lying around. Okay. Interesting. Yes, okay. So there is a permanent teleport trap. So permanent teleport trap means it's purple and it will always be there. This blue trap is a teleport trap that I believe is one use only. Okay, so very curious to me. I go in and I don't see anything. I'm just going to walk in a little bit more. One more step, until I see something. Okay, a bunch of Zot traps. Once we come around the corner, it's going to be on. There is a dispersal trap, And you have to pay attention to things like this because if an enemy steps on it, it can blink you around. And if that happens, you might get blinked into a situation that is untenable. So you just have to try to get those off the screen if you can, okay? And this will open up into the larger section of the lung, okay? And there is a Moth of Wrath, so it's our first enemy. It did see us, and we're just going to walk it back here. Remember, a Moth of Wrath on its own, terrific, but we don't want that berserking orb guardians or anything else. I'm actually walking down here just to make sure there's nothing, and this is very ominous. Usually this is packed with enemies. Now, I did fight some, but not enough to think that they've all come out. So they're going to be, it seems like they're distributed pretty heavily, either closer to the orb or on the right side. Anyway, this is the pattern. You're just going to kind of lure them out. Now, sometimes you can't get them to come out easily, and what you need to do is either intentionally use a teleport, or I'm sorry, an alarm trap like that, not a teleport trap, an alarm trap, to get the enemies to come out, or you can shout. You can push T and then T again to kind of shout and make noise and call for some of their attention to come out and fight you. That's another thing you can do. Also, sometimes if you get this far, sometimes when you try to come into the branch on either side of the lung, there'll be a permanent trap there, and that's just a pain that you have to deal with. Luckily for us, there are no permanent traps. Okay, here comes a moth. I'm just going to fight it and clear it out. And just very, very carefully, we're going to wander around. There's a kite shield. And there's a trap. And here comes an orb guardian. And we'll just kind of move around like this. And fight him. Remember, they're infinite. You know, so you're not going to kill them all, but you just don't want to fight them all at once. And if you kill a bunch, they don't respawn instantaneously, so you can kind of like, at least in my experience anyway, you can kind of thin the herd even of orb guardians. Alright, we're fighting over here. Here comes an orb guardian. Actually, this one does see us. The other one did not. Step around and kill. And here comes a tentacled monstrosity. No problem. Fight it. Rest. Okay. And we're just going to keep going up here. There's a net trap. And see where the purple walls are. Remember I said purple is the Zot color. Where these purple, unnaturally hard rock walls open up right here, that is going to lead us into the room that has the orb in it. It will be surrounded by a bunch of orb guardians. There's a trap. Here comes an orb guardian. I'm just going to bring him out to me. I can fight him here because there is nothing else that I see right now. So I'm just kind of fighting them, and you'll see, like I said, a ton of orb guardians. And here's a storm dragon. Now he's going to make a bunch of noise, unfortunately, with his ability. Using his lightning, it's usually pretty noisy, and so that might lure more enemies over to us. Alright, here comes an orb guardian, and there's two orb guardians. We'll just fight them like this. Okay, and peek in. We got marked. Okay, we got to run. I am going to quaff a... Oh, I'm going to quaff a potion of... Well, I was going to see cancellation, but I don't have one. So we have to make a run for the border this way. Yep, and we're going to get... We have to be very careful because enemies are going to come from the other side as well. So I'm actually going to quaff a potion of haste and make a break for it. I'm going to get hit by a ton of things because I'm marked. Let me make sure that this ancient lich can't blast me. He has a crystal spear, of course. And his petrify will not work on me at the moment. So I'm going to walk. I'm just going to keep trying to move this way. We're going to get hit by a bunch of stuff. We just have to pray that it's not too much. Okay. So because of haste, we're moving faster than they are. This is actually okay in the long run. Because what this means is... a lot of the enemies inside the vault are being cleared out. Okay, I'm going to take the Lich upstairs, and we're just going to fight it one-on-one. I'm going to go berserk. There's no reason not to. Just clean him up, rest, and then we can come back down and bring the Order Guardians up the steps here. Just fight them. Hopefully kill that gold dragon at some point. Okay. And now we are not marked, and so we can explore a little bit more. See what enemies state here. The gold dragon is there, and we got level 25. Why not? Okay, I'm going to rest, and we're going to just continue our progress. What I like to do with Zot 5 is just ignore one side of the lung if I can. I just pick one and go with it. Oh god, Dreadlich. Okay, so Dreadlich is going to summon stuff at us. He can't paralyze us, but these demons are tough, so we need to move away. I am going to kill his Executioner, and I'm going to now just go up on the Dreadlich, try to get as close to him as I can, and we got him. And there's a killer clown. Let me show you his abilities. So he has this ability, Blink, but he can throw a clown pie, which does, it could do 3 dice 20 damage, which is a ton, but it can also afflict you with random stuff like vertigo, silence, fire vulnerability, which with orbs of fire is pretty much instant death. If you are vulnerable to fire and you see an orb of fire, you're in so much trouble. You can get hit for 200 damage. Stat drain, which is bad with our 1 intelligence, but one of my least favorite is aversion to drinking potions. So if you get that, that means you can't drink a potion. And if you get silence, it means we can't go berserk or use any, spoken abilities, scrolls. They wear off eventually, but they can be devastating. So I'm going to just throw javelins, try to kill this guy, and we got him. And here's an orb of fire, right on cue. So I will quaff a potion of resistance right here. And I'm just going to start throwing javelins. And now we're trying to hit the killer clown as well as the orb of fire. And how about that? Silver javelins for the win. I'm telling you, silver javelins just wreck orbs of fire. And so we killed it. And, man, another special Laj Tong. All right, and we killed that guy with just throwing stones because we've used up all of... That was a god gift, by the way, that Laj Tong from Trug. We've used up all of our javelins. All right, I'm going to go around here. And, oh, 2 ancient liches. Not ideal. Okay. I'm going to use my Trog's hand, and I'm going to use Rampage to charge in and hopefully kill this guy right away. We did. We got the other Draconian. There's a second Ancient Lich, but it didn't see us, so I'm just going to kind of carefully back out and see if we can rest. There is a yellow Draconian. That's no problem. We'll just bring him around here. He corroded us, of course, because they're annoying. But we'll just rest up. Okay, so there's an Ancient Lich we know of over here. And a green Draconian monk. Alright, and more Draconians have come in. Alright, that guy netted us, which is annoying. That's another frustrating thing that they can do, but luckily there was nothing else to capitalize on us. We got to kill that Moth of Wrath right away. And there's a Storm Dragon over there stepping on Orbs of Zot, so we got to get out of here. While he's doing that, there's an Orb Guardian that has come out to fight us. It's actually going to block the lightning from us, which is kind of kind. We're going to go around the corner. We're going to kill this. The dragon will be here momentarily, and we'll just take it down. Okay. Goodness, this is scary. All right. And here, oh, he stepped on the alarm trap, and he marked us. So the alarm trap both makes noise and marks you. It's devastating. Oh, Orb of Fire, great. I'm going to use my last potion of resistance, and I'm going to just swing. I'm going to go berserk at this point, kill the Orb of Fire before it hits us too badly. And we're still berserk, fortunately, but it's going to wear off very soon. And we made it out. Okay, so now we're slow. We got to go upstairs and rest. I had to use berserk, but we were marked, so it was really complicated. And we did get mutated twice. So We shout uncontrollably at our foes, which is fine. Like, we have Tourette's, basically. This makes noise. And we sometimes lose the ability to read scrolls when taking damage. That is a very bad negative mutation to get. We could Control F mutation, look for a potion of mutation, which are right here, go get it and drink it. The thing that's difficult about potions of mutation is that you don't know if it's going to cure you the mutation necessarily, and also it can give you another mutation, so it's kind of like a crapshoot. So what I always do is I wait until I have a bunch of negative mutations and it's just too much, or I get one that's like prohibitive. The scroll reading is really difficult, but at this point, we probably won't be reading a ton of scrolls. Alright, and look what's on the screen. It is indeed the Orb of Zot. So let's just kind of creep in here. It's surrounded by traps. Okay, so here's how you do this. You step on the orb, okay, and you have to push G to pick it up. But before we pick it up, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to use Trog's Hand to regenerate, and we're going to use a potion of haste, and then we're going to push G and pick up the Orb of Zot. Now it says the orb lets out a hideous shriek. You get a new debuff, which is you are holding the orb, and enemies are aware of you now. All the enemies in the entire dungeon know where you are, and are coming for you. Also, the Lords of Pandemonium are not amused, which means the big lords from Pandemonium are going to teleport in and attempt to fight us as we try to escape with the orb, like that guy right there. We can only see the top of his head, but it's Vumoth, a large. So Vumoth is right here. He just teleported in. The Pandemonium Lords take up 2 tiles because they're so big, and we're running. We are hasted, so we will outrun them unless they're fast too. Okay, and our goal is to find a staircase. You push Shift X, and then you push the less than to try to find the staircase up. And I'm just going to automatically try to move to it, and we did without disruption. It was the closest staircase. We go up. We go up this staircase, or try to. There's an Ice Fiend here, which is annoying because it can torment us. Luckily, it did not. We go up, and we shift, and we search for a staircase up. And we got some demon spawns that came in. That's annoying. I'm going to read a scroll of blinking. Remember, I'm not taking damage, so I can read the blinking scroll right now. And I'm going to go up, and I'm going to shift and try to find a way up. These guys are still on us. That's hilarious. And we're going to go up again. And we're going to go up. There's a brain, which is actually not something we want to see. Please don't drain my intelligence. Okay, we made it. Shift. We're going to go up. Shift. We're going to go up. Or try to. There's an orange demon. We just run away from it. I'm going to drink another potion of haste, by the way. Let's keep ourselves fast. And we're going to go out. We're going to look for the staircase up. Shift X, less than. It finds the nearest staircase. It's right here. We teleport to it. We are now on depths 1. We go to the entrance of the depth. We found a profane servitor. I'm not even going to fight this guy. I'm going to try to run. Remember, if they're not by you on the staircase, you leave them behind. Like, they're not going to follow you up for the most part. And I'm going to drink another potion of haste and find the way up. Go up. And the way up is actually right next to me. We're on dungeon 14. We lost our haste. I'm going to drink haste again. Go up. Just try to use as much haste as we can to get out of here. Now, at some point, we're going to fight a Pandemonium Lord. It's a guarantee. As we get closer to the top, we're at dungeon 10, dungeon 9, dungeon 8, dungeon... Yep. And Ice Fiend for the win, right? He just clipped off, half of our health with Torment. I'm just going to drink a potion of Heal Wounds. And we're going to try to go up the steps. If we see the Pandemonium Lord, we're going to drink the Potion of Haste and run. I have no reason to fight it unless I have to. Alright. There's a green death up here. I'm going to read a scroll of blinking and just try to skip this guy as much as I can. Go over here. Yep, he's poisoning me. And we go up. Okay, we're on dungeon 5. And I'm going to just run over here. Go up. Go up. We're on dungeon 3. Go up. Grinder is upstairs. Yeah, we marked Grinder. That's right. That's funny. I had excluded this because we wanted to skip him. We never came back to kill him. And we're going to go up, and I'm going to go up to Dungeon 1. I'm going to drink my Potion of Haste now, and we're going to find the way out. It's right here, and we did it. Everyone, we have escaped. We have won with our Minotaur Berserker. All I need to do is go up the stairs right now, and it says you have escaped in the lower left, and it'll show you your inventory. You can see all your stuff again. You push enter, and then it will give you a score. We'll give you a score, and we got, you know, 1.4 million points. We finished 170th on the server with a 25th level Minotaur Berserker escaping with the orb. How about that? Feels good, huh? So that's how you go through Zot carefully. We had to fight a few orbs of fire. We did get mutated, but we had enough potions of resistance to take him down. The lungs were actually not really very congested, so that wasn't too challenging at all for us. We didn't, and on the way out, we didn't encounter that second Pandemonium Lord, just the first one, and so that was lucky for us. And our Potions of Haste, we had enough. I sandbagged those for that exact reason, to escape, and we did. So, fantastic. Everyone, this is the end of our Complete Beginner's Guide because we have won. I hope you found this enjoyable and entertaining as well as educational. I wish you the best of luck on your dungeon crawl runs, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.